Here along the edge of Australia's Northern Territory lies an ancient landscape. 50,000 years ago, Aboriginals called it home and still do. This is the place of the dream time, where land and story meet. I'm Art Wolf. This is Travels to the Edge. Northwest Australia is one of the last true wilderness areas. It's vast and untamed, and as brutal as it is beautiful. Australia is huge, almost as large as the continental United States. We'll be exploring Western Australia's remote Kimberley Plateau and Arnhemland at the top end of the Northern Territory. I've asked Ian Morris, a renowned naturalist who's lived among the Aboriginal people for 40 years, to teach me about the place. Ian, tell me a little bit about Arnhemland.
It's probably the only bit of really decent Aboriginal Australia left as it was when Captain Cook arrived. It's just a wonderful little window on what Australia was like in times past. To an Aboriginal person, they feel that the land owns them. These people believe that the land produced them, the land nurtured them, and therefore they had a responsibility in their lifetime to care for it. They feel they're part of it, it's part of them.
The Aboriginal peoples understand the annual cycles of this harsh environment. Bushfires are a regular thing around here. For me, they're a thrilling and dynamic subject, especially at night.
Fire in this country is very important to the ecology, to the people who lived here. Traditionally, they used fire for keeping away mosquitoes, for being able to walk through the bush without seeing snakes. Their word for burning in this country is equivalent to cleansing. They see fire going through this country at low intensity like this as a cleansing process. It has the effect of renewing the landscape, and of course that's very good for the wallabies and kangaroos and other herbivores.
That lingering twilight blue set with the orange flame, it is really a great subject.
It's a great experience actually to be in a bushfire at night.
The Kimberley hides countless cave paintings that are only known by Aboriginal people who call this place home, and a few tough Aussie blokes. Max Davison has rediscovered a few of these ancient rock canvases. Where the heck are you taking me?
I think you just have to be patient, Art. We've
Patient?
got some really fantastic places to show you.
Patience, not my forte.
Well, this is the way I came in when I first found this site, and I'm only talking back 1988, not that long ago, Art. It was like finding El Dorado. The Lord knows how many years I've been painting here for. It could be thousands and thousands of years. So we're looking at occupation at least going back 60,000 years.
This is a fantastic gallery. It looks like there's a lot of layers.
Well, there's probably thousands of layers there, Art. An elder told me that they can't repaint someone else's painting, but you put your painting over the top. So their story's there and your story's there.
Without harming the other person's stories.
That's right. It doesn't hurt the story at all. It doesn't matter how it's drawn, it's the story that they're relating that's the important part. So it's not done for art's sake.
It's a historical account.
This is our book.
There's such a strong sense of design in their depictions of animals. It's not realistic, it's stylized and rendered in a very simplistic way, and yet so beautifully. One of the joys is just studying it, and the more you look, the more you see. In this arid land, wetlands are especially precious.
These are Ramsar wetlands. They're part of a big worldwide system they're trying to preserve. In Australian terms, this is as good as it gets. This is some of the best that we've got. We've got a challenge now to keep these places good. Lovely saltwater crocodile. Saltwater crocodiles like to thermoregulate. Body temperature is critical for them. The whole back of the animal is basically a big solar panel. They store heat up to a certain level. When they sort of reach the optimum, sometimes they're too lazy to move, they only have to open their mouth. So that animal there with its mouth open is not being aggressive towards Art Wolf in any shape or form. It's just merely keeping its body temperature at an even level.
I love these kind of shots where I'm abstracting nature, not just shooting portraits, but trying to create kind of a mystery around these great creatures and not telling the whole story in one photo.
There's so much that's not known about these habitats. This particular habitat, where you've got all these rich nutrients coming together in one place, has attracted a lot of life. These little dragonflies are our common species here in the wetlands. Its proper name is the black-necked stork, and they're found right up through Southeast Asia and into India. What we've got here is the Australian crane called a brolga.
Beautiful. We've got the potential for a really nice shot as we come up close to this pelican. He's moving, and if he takes off, I'm in a great position to get a good shot. He's thinking about it. He's walking back just so he has a little bit of a runway. He's repositioning, gauging the wind. One last instrument check. There he goes.
Unfortunately, our human greed for fishing resources and everything else has depleted the resources here to the extent that these few places remaining like this are real gems.
Just off the coast of the Northern Territories lies Elko Island, home to the largest Aboriginal community in northeast Arnhemland.
Arnhemland has been given a bit of elbow room. It's an Aboriginal reserve. People here have had a chance to look out at the rest of Australia and see what's happened to their people in other places where the Western society has just swamped them. Their culture is still here and alive and with them. So Art, I'll be introducing you now to some of my aunties and nieces, and these ladies are all relatives of mine. This is Art Walla.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Manmak.
Mammak.
Yeah.
So you're making baskets.
Yeah.
I love baskets. I collect them from all over the world.
Yeah.
Can I take a picture? Okay. Nice. Will you do me a favor? And let me take one picture of the three of your heads as close as you can and show me. Yeah, just like this. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay, look at me and smile. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, will you take a picture of me? Come on, come here. Take a picture. Hold this. Hold it. Okay, now you have to take a picture. You have to
press this one.
Press that and look through the viewfinder. Hold it up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Spaniard.
The stringy bark is the most common eucalyptus tree in northern Australia. These trees, hollowed out by termites, are used to make the iconic Aboriginal instrument, the didgeridoo.
Okay, Art, this is called gukko, bush honey or sugar bag, and it's a bush delicacy. Try it.
Well, there's bees in there?
Yeah, it's good for you. Protein.
I'll lick it.
Good. Put it in your mouth and chomp it up.
That's like molasses.
It's very nice, very sweet. It's good for you. And when you finish eating the honey, you save the wax, and that gets used to make the mouthpiece for the didgeridoo, the iridaki.
Oh, I see.
Hey, you wasted a good bit of wax there.
That's the first time in my life I've ever intentionally eaten an insect.
And you enjoyed it, didn't you?
I like the honey, I have to say.
The bush here is full of resources, natural resources. To us it looks pretty dry and boring, but if you're with Aboriginal people, like Jallu, you never go hungry. What's happening here is that a group of people are preparing a bungal, which is the local word for a ceremony or a dance, and there's a lot of people gathering around because whenever people celebrate a story, it draws a crowd. It's another form of pantomime, I suppose, as far as the local people are concerned. It's entertainment, but it's also learning. They're passing on old stories to the younger ones.
I've got this beautiful shot right now. These dancers, they're silhouetted against the late twilight. They're striking such beautiful poses right now. It's one of those really extraordinary moments. I feel that I'm photographing a timelessness, a tradition that is being passed from generation to generation in the form of the dance. And that's one of the missions I have, is to really record these cultures in all their glory. That's nice, look at that. What do you think, Peter? Am I a good photographer? Mingmak. That means the best photographer maybe on the planet.
That's the one.
Good day for flying, huh?
It's a great day for flying. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. One of the things I really like to do is to move through the land, really record it from a ground perspective. But then when I get up in the air and I fly over it, it completely reveals itself on a different level. For me, it's fantastic. All the shapes, the textures, the colors, the lines, they all come out. And it is my favorite type of photography to do. We're in Western Australia now, in the Kimberley, a harsh paradise defined by rugged mountains and deep-cut gorges. In the far north of the Kimberley lies Mitchell Falls, a place of spiritual significance to the Aboriginal people. Joining me on the hike into the falls is my local guide, Brownie. Can you describe the Kimberley to me?
The Kimberley's huge, it's isolated, it's the last frontier. There's something about this country, and it's not just the country itself, it's the people, the Aboriginal people who not only belong in this country, are custodians for it. They belong to the country. The remarkable thing about Aboriginal culture is this whole universe of spiritual depth.
So the Kimberley really has some major charms here, some
Absolutely.
magical places.
Right, the sun's getting up. We got a few k's walk to get into Mitchell Falls.
I never mind a few k's walk.
All right, good. Well, we might as well hit it, eh? Well, here we are, Mitchell Falls. It's known to the Wunnambal people as Punamiumpu. It's just one of the most incredible places in the world. This is where the main Wungal lives, the main creative serpent. In the creation time, when he created this, he rose up and invited all the other creative serpents from around the Kimberley to this one spot for a meeting to see and talk about creation, I suppose. And it's just a mega spot in the Kimberley.
I am shooting a very tight shot of the waterfall beyond me with a very long exposure. And with that long exposure, it literally renders the water into a very ribbony effect, very dreamy, very artistic. Canoeing into the gorges of the Kimberley is a great way to see the land. It's very linear. The lines are etched in this ancient stone. When I'm canoeing through it, every bend in a river reveals a new abstract. I'm not really trying to translate this land into depth or tell a story. I'm just trying to create a beautiful abstract pattern where it doesn't even look like traditional land photos. The other thing I'm trying to do is put the horizon right down the middle, so the reflection and what is being reflected is equally important. As I walk up along this beautiful canyon, the light is changing, the foreground is changing, and I'm just looking intuitively to what works. This is among the oldest landscapes on Earth. The sense of ancient history really reverberates, whether it's the rock art we find on the walls or the way these beautiful rocky edged buttresses reach into the sky. Is a great landscape photograph. I have found truly an abstract environment, and what it is basically perfect reflections or almost perfect reflections of rock and trees reflected into the very calm waters. For me, it's all about the detail. It's really where the brain works on a very intuitive, very artistic level. As the sun is dipped below the horizon, On the subject I'm shooting, I've got light and dark and light and dark, and it's just a real beautiful and yet very, very transient time of day. As I shoot in this ancient canyon, I'm struck by the fact that my photography, like the Aboriginal people, is inseparable from the land. There's not too many gas stations around here.
No, there's only 2 on the whole Gibb River Road.
Wow.
And you're lucky you pulled in here. We're the cheapest.
This is an incredible area known as the Bungle Bungle. It's sandstone that's 360 million years old, and during the last 20 million years has been eroded into these beautiful beehive shapes. This labyrinth of rock has long been revered by Aboriginals. It's astonishing to think that the Europeans never even discovered it until the early 1980s. As incredible as this place is from the ground, to really get a full appreciation for its extensive beauty, I really need to see it from the air. When you look at the Bungle Bungle, the first thing that comes to mind is it's extraordinarily designy. It's a graphic landscape. Traveling in this remote corner of Australia has given me a strong sense of the power, the mystery, and the fragility of this ancient landscape and its Aboriginal culture. I'm Art Wolfe. Join me next time on Travels to the Edge.
This program and other episodes from this season are available on 3-episode discs for $17.95 each, plus shipping and handling. An award-winning book of Art Wolfe's landscapes featured in this series and beyond, Edge of the Earth, Corner of the Sky, is available for $49.95 plus shipping and handling. To order the book or DVDs, please call 1-800-440-2651.
Here are 3 of my favorite images from this episode. To learn more about this episode and how these images were produced, please visit artwolfe.com.